Erik Ten Hag has a Champions League blueprint that can benefit Manchester United. Erik Ten Hag leads Manchester United into the Champions League for the first later this month, and what he and the Reds fans wouldn't give for a repeat of his first sojourn into the competition proper with Ajax. The Dutch Giants surprised much of Europe with an inspired run to the semi-finals in 2019, where they were only denied a place in the final by a Lucas Moura hat-trick and a last-gasp goal in the last four. Ten Hag had molded an exciting side in the ethos of Ajax. They enthralled and entertained, thrashing Real Madrid in the Bernabeu and dumping Cristiano Ronaldo and Juventus out of the competition. This came after having drawn twice with Bayern Munich, who United will face this season, during an unbeaten group stage which Ajax had reached by battling through 3 rounds of qualifying. They played 18 games in the competition that season, losing just 2 and both to late goals. There was a steal as well as a skill to a talented team which had current United players Andre Onana and Donny van de Beek as key figures. Ajax plundered goals and their style was built on an aggressive press and playing as high up the pitch as possible. The Reds will need a stronger underbelly to compete on the continent this term, but the Dutchman has proved he can compete in the competition even if that magical 2019 run was ended in heartbreaking fashion by a last-gasp Lucas Moura goal which saw Spurs overcome a 3-0 aggregate deficit to progress on away goals. It hurt Ten Hag, whose side failed to progress from the group stage in their next 2 Champions League campaigns. Last term they blitzed all before them with a perfect record but were undone by Benfica in the last 16. United will be hoping to at least match that achievement on their return to the top table of European football. Ten Hag has shown he can mix it with the best and last season highlighted his ability to regenerate a team, something he is tasked with doing at Old Trafford. The Reds will be seeking a dash of his Ajax artistry as their Champions League picture unfolds. Jadon Sancho offered Man United escape route amid interest from Champions League side. Jadon Sancho has been offered a new Manchester United escape route with Borussia Dortmund reportedly plotting a loan move in the January window. Sancho has had a massive fallout with Erik Ten Hag, claiming that the United manager has made him a scapegoat after being axed from the squad which lost at Arsenal last week. His comments came after Ten Hag revealed publicly that Sancho had been omitted on account of his poor application in training. Sancho's future appears to be up in the air and the Red Devils were in talks with Al Ettifaq over a possible loan this week, but the Saudi Pro League side could not strike a deal with United. Sancho has a fresh option when the January transfer window opens up, though, with The Sun reporting that his former club Dortmund would be interested in a loan if the 23-year-old's relationship with Ten Hag cannot be repaired. The Englishman joined United for £73 million in 2021 from Dortmund, where he massively impressed with 50 goals and 64 assists across 137 games. It has not worked out quite as well at United, with Sancho scoring 12 times and providing 6 assists in 82 matches during his stint at Old Trafford so far. Stan Collymore, though, thinks Sancho will never play for United again after his bust-up with Ten Hag. Meanwhile, it has been reported that Sancho is not a popular figure with his United teammates amid the playmakers falling out with the Dutch boss. It is thought that some United staff members also find Sancho to be rude and withdrawn. Mason Mount targeting Bayern Munich game for return from injury. An injury crisis has punctured the balloon of any early season optimism that Manchester United fans had. The club is in the bottom half of the table and has already lost 2 games out of 4. A big reason why is that barring Andre Onana, Erik Ten Hag hasn't been able to regularly field his new signings due to injury issues. One such player could be set to return soon in a big boost to the squad. The Athletic's Simon Johnson reports that Mason Mount is targeting a return to action in time for United's travel to Allianz Arena for their game against Bayern Munich. The fixture, United's first in the UEFA Champions League, is scheduled for September 20th, giving Mount 10 more days to ramp up his preparations. He has been ruled out of action for the last month or so due to a hamstring injury. The initial prognosis of the injury was looking bad, but follow-up scans of the same have returned positive results. Ten Hag is reportedly trying to be extra cautious and avoiding rushing him back to reduce the risk of further injuries. If the progress remains on track, then the report states that Mount even has a small, but unlikely chance to feature against Brighton and Hove Albion. That fixture takes place on September 16th and is United's first game on return from the international break. Getting Mount some minutes with an appearance off the bench in that game could pave the way for him to start the game against Bayern. It is otherwise unlikely that he will get thrown straight into the deep end against the German champions after returning from such a lengthy absence. Manchester United reject loan offer for Hannibal MEJBRI from Besiktas. Manchester United have turned down a loan offer for Hannibal MEJBRI from Besiktas, according to Manchester Evening News. The transfer window for the Turkish clubs is still open for another week. Man United manager Ten Hag is reportedly reluctant to let Hannibal leave Old Trafford this summer. The 20-year-old impressed in United's preseason games, but the summer arrivals of Mason Mount and Sofian Amrabat have raised concerns over his playing time. Teenage sensation Kobbie Mainoo is also ahead of him in the pecking order. Ten Hag utilized Hannibal as an attacking midfielder during preseason. The youngster showed great tenacity and proved to be a pressing machine. He also impressed for Birmingham City in the Championship last season. Man United already have 3 options for the holding midfield role: Casemiro, Amrabat, and Mainoo. Christian Eriksen and Mason Mount are expected to battle for the number 8 spot. This leaves the number 10 position, which Bruno Fernandes owns. Hannibal is a highly talented player, however, talent alone is not always enough to achieve success at a big club like Man United. He needs regular playing time to develop his game, but he will find it hard to get regular minutes under his belt with United. His best chance to feature for the first team looks to be in the FA Cup and Carabao Cup. It will be interesting to see how much game time he receives in the first half of the season if he remains at the Theatre of Dreams.